Hello everyone, welcome to the 21st episode of Cooking with Chef Aaron. Today, we are going to be setting foot in Europe yet again as we explore the country of Portugal. Now, this country was kindly requested to me by my mother, Susan Hinnecke. As always, thank you for your request. I'd like to give a big shout out to you, and I hope to receive more requests from other people sometime soon. Okay, so I'm going to start this review off by talking about the capital and largest city, which is Lisbon. Now, this city looks pretty nice because there's a lot of colorful buildings, as you can see here, and it kind of reminds me of like a gigantic play place area, except it's a place where you can walk around and take some nice pictures and everything like that. It has some very nice buildings, though I wouldn't really classify it as my favorite city because I'm more into like futuristic architecture, and I also kind of like buildings that kind of have like a more of an elegant feel. There's nothing really too elegant here, it's more just sort of colorful, and that's pretty much all there is to say about it. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the second largest city in Portugal, which is called Porto. And this city I actually kind of like better than Lisbon because there's a lot more buildings and it feels a lot more colorful. It's a lot more rainbow colored as compared to Lisbon. And much like before, it feels like a gigantic play area for kids, but I'm not saying that only kids can walk around it. Of course, adults can too. But it just sort of has an atmosphere. It's like you're walking through a big, gigantic play place area, kind of. And it's a pretty interesting city. I like all the big, tall, colorful buildings. But once again, it's not very futuristic. I don't think that it's really that elegant, but still a pretty good city. And speaking of Porto, there's actually something funny I discovered on GeoGuessr, which is this computer game I play where you're put in the middle of a place in the world, like anywhere in the world, and you have to figure out where you are based on clues after you drive down the road. That game is called GeoGuessr. And something I discovered was a link to this website here, this Portuguese website here. You see it here. It's called bandasolbrahante.com. And my friend and I were playing GeoGuessr and we discovered it on the truck. So we copied and pasted the URL into the search engine, and this was what popped up. Check this out.
Esta dança sensual é festa, é carnaval, é paixão, vida, é amor. Esta dança sensual ninguém vai levar a mal, é o prazer do calor. Hey, 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 põe as mãos no ar, dois passos à frente, cintura a rodar. Hey, 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 bumbum a baixar, força na perninha, toca a levantar. Hey, 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 põe as mãos no ar, dois passos à frente, cintura a rodar. Hey, 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 bumbum a baixar, força na perninha, toca a levantar.
Okay, now I don't know about any of you, but when my friend and I saw that website, we got quite a good laugh out of it. We thought it was pretty random, that's why. Okay, so the last city I'm going to talk about is the third largest city of Portugal, which is called Amadora. And unlike the first two cities I showed you, this city doesn't really have much of a place sort of feel to it. It has more of a combination of both like a German feel and as well as like a Central American feel, because you can see some architecture that kind of looks similar to that of Germany, what with the elegant design sort of. They have sort of like that sort of German design to them. And also you can see some buildings here which kind of look similar to what you would find in like Central American countries such as like Honduras or Costa Rica or Nicaragua, countries like that. And I don't think this city is really as good as the first two cities, but it's still pretty nice. Okay, so to wrap up this review, I'm going to talk about the rural parts of Portugal now. And as you can see here, there's a lot of rocky structures that kind of look similar to what you would see in Mexico, except they're not quite as good because I find that with Mexico it has more of a deserty sort of atmosphere of it, and there's more cactuses, and I like and like that in Portugal isn't as big, and it doesn't really have as strong as a Mexican feel, of course. But there's also a lot of really nice vegetation, like as you can see here. I really like all this green vegetation. It looks pretty nice as well, and that's what I've got to say about it. Okay, so overall, I would say that I'd probably have to give the country of Portugal a B+. Okay, now let's head down to my kitchen, and I'll show you how to make the carne guisada. Follow me, please. Okay, so in order to make the carne guisada, the ingredients you will need are as follows. We have over here some olive oil, 2 chopped onions, 3 bay leaves, some nice cut up bacon, some nice cut up sausage, a can of tomato paste, some nice cut up beef, some salt, pepper, and chili flakes to taste. And over here at the back, we have some nice frozen white wine. We have chicken bouillon package, and we have some mixed vegetables. We have some mushroom broth, and we have some potatoes that have been cut up. Okay, so to start off the recipe, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of olive oil into the pot. We're going to let it heat up for a bit. And afterwards we will add our onions. And we're going to add our bay leaves. And we're just going to let these saute for a while, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so after your onions have been nice and transparent, what you want to do now is you want to add the sausages. And we're just going to let these cook for a bit, and afterwards we'll move on to the next item. Okay, so now that you've added your sausages, and once you've cooked them on both sides for a while, what you want to do now is you want to take your beef and you want to add to the mixture. And we're just going to let this brown as well. Okay, so now after your beef has cooked for a while, what you want to do now is you want to take the bacon and add it to the mixture. And we're also going to take our tomato paste and we're going to add it to the mixture as well. So just like this. Just gotta make sure it's all out of the can. Okay, and afterwards I'm just going to take this spoon and I'm just going to mix all the colors together. Okay, so I'm just going to now season this with a little bit of chili flakes. So here's just a pinch all around. Maybe a little bit more. I'm also going to season it with a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. So after you've seasoned your mixture, we're going to add our white wine like this. And we're also going to add our mushroom broth. And here's our mushroom broth. Whole thing goes in. And this is starting to look very good. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to add our Bovril sachet to the mixture, like this. And we're just going to blend this into the carne guisada, and we will move on to the next step. Okay. So now we're going to add our potatoes to the mixture. And we're going to add our mixed vegetables as well. And afterwards we will cover this and we're going to let it cook for a while. So once you've sort of let your carne guisada sit at heat and let it simmer for about like an hour or so, it should look something like this. So now I'm going to do a taste test and I'll tell you what I think of it. Okay, I'm just going to get this sausage right here. Okay, let's see what I think of this. This tastes really good. I can taste the meat very well. It's good. Alright, here's our carne guisada. served in a nice bowl. Thank you for watching.